Hey, Smarty Pants. This episode is all about motivation, so pay close attention to this opening scene. It has a lot of clues about how to get better at motivating yourself and others. And thanks for listening to Who Smarted.
What do you want to do today?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know. Want to go to the park?
I don't feel like moving. Want to watch a movie?
Too much looking. Life is so boring.
Did I hear you kids say there's nothing to do?
Whoa, Mom, fear of knocking?
Hi, Mrs. K.
Hi, Jimmy. So you guys are bored, huh?
Whoa, you were listening in?
If you're so bored, why don't you clean up your messy room?
We want to do something fun.
Yeah, Mrs. K. I don't clean my own room. Why would I want to clean his room?
But cleaning your room can be fun.
Nice try, Mom.
Fine, cleaning your room isn't fun. But what if I taught you a fun game to play?
I like games.
Dude, it's not going to be a real game. It's going to be some made-up mom game.
Come on, just try it. Kevin, you go to one side of the room, and Jimmy, you go to the other. Now we need a basket of some kind.
We could use this laundry basket.
Perfect. Put it on Kevin's desk.
There's no room with all these dirty clothes piled up everywhere.
Just push the clothes onto the floor. Now, you need something to toss into the basket, but it can't be a ball.
Why not?
Because this isn't basketball.
See, I told you it was some weird mom game.
What about these balled up dirty socks on the floor?
Ooh, good idea, Jimmy.
Check it out. Swish! Nothing but basket.
Great. Now it's your turn, Jimmy. See if you can toss this dirty t-shirt into the basket.
No problemo. Boom!
Looks like you guys are getting the hang of it. I'll leave you to it. Oh, and when the basket's full, bring it down to the laundry room, will ya?
Sure thing, Mrs. K. I've got the hoodie. Fade away. Booyah!
Suckers.
Wow, that was impressive. For all you Smarty Pants listening, did you catch what just happened? Mom got her son and his friend to clean the bedroom by using one of the oldest tricks in the book. Do you know what it was? That's right. She made a game out of it. We call that gamification.
Booyah!
And it's one of the best ways to motivate yourself or others to do stuff you might not want to do. Ooh. But what exactly is motivation? Where does it come from? And how can you use it to help do better in school or life?
I don't know.
It's time for another whiff of science on
Who smarted? Who smarted? Who's smart? Is it you? Is it me? Is it science or history? Listen up, everyone. We make smarting lots of fun on Who Smarted.
Psst. Why are you doing right now?
Huh?
You heard me right. I didn't ask what you're doing or how you're doing, but why are you doing? Got your answer? Here's a hint. It has to do with whatever is motivating you. If you're hearing my voice, clearly I know what you're doing. You're listening to Who Smarted. But why? Did your parents make you listen?
Listen to this podcast.
Did a friend recommend it?
Hey, check out this new podcast. It's awesome.
Or did you decide to listen because you wanted to learn cool new stuff in a fun way?
Who smarted?
Whatever the reason, you're doing what you're doing right now because of some form of motivation.
Whoa.
So, what is motivation? In simple terms, motivation is the reason you do anything. But why take my word for it when we can talk to an expert? Our next guest is leading the nation in motivation. She does her chores without anyone asking. She practices harp without being told. She even walks the dog after the dog's already been out. Why, it's Lazy Susan.
Hey.
Hi. I was kind of expecting you to be more energetic.
This is energetic.
And your name is Lazy Susan.
It's ironic. Like when you call someone who's tall tiny.
Got it. So, Susan, tell us, what is motivation?
Now? You want me to tell you now?
Yeah, we're recording. Now would be a great time.
Fine. The word motivation is derived from the word motive, which means a need that requires satisfaction. There. Are you satisfied?
Anything else?
Motivation comes to us all in two basic forms, intrinsic and extrinsic.
Wow, those are some big fancy words. Any chance you could explain it more simply?
Motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors involving biological, emotional, social, and cognitive forces.
Whoa, that's way more complicated.
It's what I read in a book. Okay, real talk?
Please.
I'm really not that motivated. I cut corners with my chores, I pay someone to walk the dog, and I made a recording that sounds like I'm practicing harp.
I did not see this coming.
I hide it well. The truth is I could use some motivation. I have an essay due next week, and I haven't even started.
Have you tried breaking up the big task into smaller, more achievable tasks?
What does that mean?
Whenever I'm having trouble getting motivated to tackle a big task, I simply divide it into a series of smaller, specific, measurable tasks. For example, if I need to clean my house, I make a list of each room and what I need to do. For example, kitchen, do the dishes, wipe the counters.
Scrape spaghetti sauce off the ceiling?
Sure. And then I tackle it one task at a time. When the dishes are done, I check it off my list.
Ah, you make a list.
You might want to write that down.
I'll remember.
Anyway, it's been scientifically proven that people are more likely to stick with and accomplish lots of small goals than one big one. And checking each one off your list motivates you to keep going. You know why?
Because once you see you're making a little progress, it feels good?
That's right. As you keep going, your brain gets a small hit of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical that transmits information throughout the neurons in your brain.
Now who's using big words?
Sorry. By checking smaller tasks off your list, your brain celebrates the completion of each mini-task.
Yay!
Like doing the dishes. This allows you to move on to the next step with confidence.
What's next?
And before you know it, your checklist is complete and you've reached your goal.
How would that work with my essay?
You could set a mini task of writing a paragraph or two a day. Just make sure your small goals follow the Goldilocks method.
My essay's on the Chronicles of Narnia, not the Three Bears.
I mean, the small tasks shouldn't be too easy or too hard.
Why not?
If they're too hard, you might be too intimidated to even begin. And if they're too easy, you might get bored and never finish. The optimal mini-task should be right in the middle.
I see how that could help me get started on a task, but what if I'm having trouble finishing? Like if I'm struggling with it?
Great question, and we've got a great answer. Stick around to find out how to get through when you're struggling with a task.
Hello, Smarty fans. As Who Smarted listeners, you've heard me talk a lot about digestion and what's going on inside your tummy. That's because your whole body's health starts in your gut. But did you know 61% of people experience digestive discomfort? Everything from bloating and constipation to gastrointestinal irritation. I know, not fun. Luckily, I found Seed's DS-01 Daily Synbiotic. It sets a new standard in probiotics that not only provides relief from occasional digestive discomfort, but also supports healthy gut immune function and promotes smooth, clear, healthy skin. As someone who loves going with his gut, I use Seed's DS-01 Daily Synbiotic every day as part of my daily routine to benefit my gut, skin, and heart health. So listen to your gut with Seed's DS-01 Daily Synbiotic. Go to seed.com/25smarted and use code 25smarted to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off your first month of Seed's DS-01 Daily Synbiotic at seed.com/25smarted, code 25smarted.
And now back to Who Smarted. When you're really struggling with something, like a tricky math problem or another difficult task, what should you do? Should you A, keep struggling with it? B, ask someone to do it for you?
Help!
Or C, take a break? While it might make sense to keep trying or ask for help,
Help!
Most studies suggest the best thing to do is to take a short break and do something you're already really good at. You could play a video game, or play an instrument, or your favorite sport. Then return to the original task with renewed confidence, and chances are you'll figure it out.
I like taking breaks.
Just make sure you go back to the task.
Gotcha. Later.
Wait. Before you mentioned 2 types of motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic. Do you remember what those meant?
Yeah. Intrinsic means you motivate yourself, and extrinsic means someone or something else motivates you. Like if you love to play video games because it's fun.
Yeah!
That's internal or intrinsic motivation. You do it because you love doing it. But if you grow up and decide to design video games for a living, now you're motivated to do it because it's your job and you need to make money for your family. Or you don't want to let down your boss or the company you work for.
I just gotta get this done.
Those are external or extrinsic motivations.
Gotcha. So motivation is what's behind everything you do.
Yup. Whether it's getting a glass of water to quench your thirst, or reading a book to gain knowledge, it's all driven by some form of motivation. And depending on what's driving you, changes how likely you are to finish that task and make it a habit.
Like the mom motivating her kids to clean their room.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that happened before you got here. So Smarty Pants, if mom had yelled at the kids to clean up,
Clean your room or you're grounded.
the room would have gotten clean, but the kids wouldn't have enjoyed doing it and would need to be motivated again next time. But by simply changing the kind of motivation,
See if you can toss this dirty shirt into the laundry basket.
the result was the same, a clean room. But the kids had way more fun and are much more likely to make cleaning their room a fun habit.
I'm feeling pretty motivated. In fact, I don't want to be called Lazy Susan anymore.
Nice. What should we call you? Motivated Mary? Inspired Arena? Determined Dana?
I was thinking Lazy Ann. Later, dude.
Please text a friend and tell them how much you love Who Smarted. This episode, Motivation, was written by Jason Williams and voiced by Caden Merritt, Ty Merritt, Jenna Hoban, Gia Davis, and Josh Hahn, and narrated by Jerry Colbert. Technical direction and sound design by Josh Hahn. Who Smarted was recorded and mixed at the Relic Room Studio. Theme song by Brian Suarez. Lyrics written and performed by Adam Tex Davis. Who Smarted was created and produced by Adam Tex Davis and Jerry Colbert. This has been an Atomic Entertainment production.